Today I am making fried cabbage, and in this recipe I have seasoned my cabbage with hickory smoked bacon and kielbasa sausage. I will also be adding sweet peppers, onions, and garlic to add extra flavor and to add some color as well. So let's get started. In this pot I have about 6 tablespoons of olive oil. And to this olive oil, I'll be adding my hickory smoked bacon, and we will fry that until it's about 3/4 of the way done and brown and crispy around the edges. You want to set your temperature on a medium temperature because you want to cook this bacon at a slow pace. That way, the fat will render out of it slowly without the bacon burning. And this will take approximately 10 minutes. So in the meantime, let's get our vegetables chopped. To this recipe, I'll be chopping up about 3 tablespoons of garlic. I'll also be chopping up 1 small onion. And to add some color to the dish, I'll be adding a half of a red pepper, which will also add some sweetness. And also I'll be adding a half of a green bell pepper. Okay, now it looks like our bacon is ready. It's about 3/4 of the way done. And it's now time to add in our smoked sausage. Now for the sausage, you don't really have to cook it because it is already cooked. But what we're doing here is just browning it off and extracting those juices out of the sausage so that when we put our cabbage in here, your cabbage will absorb those flavors. Now this is what you're looking for. You want your bacon to be well done, and you want your sausage to be browned a little on each side. So now what we'll do is remove all of our sausage and bacon from the pot and leave all the juices and the oils and the drippings in the pot so that we can saute our onions and peppers. Now that we've removed all of our sausage and bacon, we have these drippings in the bottom of the pan along with the oil. This is going to create a ton of flavor for our fried cabbage. So what we need to do now is just drop your onions in first, let them sweat out a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, it's been about 5 to 7 minutes and the onions are just about translucent. So now it is time for us to add our 3 tablespoons of garlic, and you just want to stir that around and let that simmer for about 1 to 2 minutes, but not much longer because you don't want your garlic to burn. Now for my peppers, I like to put them in midway of the cooking process. That way when the cabbage is done, they still have a little bite to them. So I'll only be sauteing them for about 1 minute. Now I've already chopped up my cabbage and I used about a half of a large cabbage. And here I'll just rinse it off really well in this colander and then get it ready to go into the pot. Okay, so at this point, all you need to do is get all your cabbage into the pot, and as the cabbage starts to cook, it will produce its own moisture and its own liquids. Therefore, you don't need any liquids in this dish. For seasonings, I'll be using black pepper, Tony's Creole spice, and some bouillon powder. For the chicken powder, you'll be needing about 2 tablespoons. I'll also be adding about 1 full tablespoon of black pepper. And for the Tony's Creole spice, you'll need about 2 teaspoons. You won't need a whole lot of spices in this dish because we have bacon and sausage, which both are high in sodium, and it will give a good amount of seasons within itself. So you just want to stir this around, get all your seasons incorporated, and this will sit here and simmer for about 15 minutes. Okay, our cabbage has been simmering for at least 15 minutes, and now it's time to put our sausage and bacon back into the pot. Now all you have to do is stir it in well and let this sit here and simmer for another 15 to 20 minutes. Now I know the bacon and the sausage creates a lot of oil, but there's always room for a little bit of butter. So I'm adding 2 tablespoons of butter to my fried cabbage. And it's optional, so if you don't want to add it, you can just leave it out. Now there's one last thing that I like to add to my cabbage. That's vinegar. Vinegar adds a good amount of acidity, and it just adds that extra flavor that you need in your cabbage. So I'm adding 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Okay, now that it's been about 5 minutes, let's take a look. If you look down in here, you'll see that there's very little juice at the bottom, and that will tell you that your cabbage is ready. Now, if you like your cabbage more on the firm side, you just turn your pot off a little bit earlier. But for me, I like my cabbage cooked all the way through. And this looks so delicious. If you could only smell the smell of the bacon and the red peppers, it's just so aromatic. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you tried this recipe. And if you do, please come back and leave me a comment and let me know how it worked out for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next time, I'll see you on the next video.